Later this year, we will be getting Venom 3, which was just announced to be titled Venom The Last Dance, which means it will be the final installment in the Venom trilogy, and that will be it for Tom Hardy's Venom. It's being said that there's still plans for him, he's going to continue as the character, but this will be the last Venom solo movie. We'll probably see him in other spin-off movies, whatever they're setting up there with the Sinister Six or I don't know what Sony's doing over there, but that's live action. We just found out now that there are other plans for Venom over at Sony in the animated space, which I think is quite interesting. So obviously, Sony's had a lot of success with animation when it comes to their Spider-Verse films. Most people agree that those two Spider-Verse films are better than any live-action Spider-Man movie. So if they're doing so well there, might as well keep going. And as being said now, this being reported from Scooper, Can We Get Some Toast, that we are getting a solo animated Venom movie from Seth Rogen. He's going to write and produce this film, which is really interesting. I am actually pretty excited about this. I definitely have mixed feelings on it, but Seth Rogen isn't the part that I'm mixed on. Seth Rogen is the part that I'm super confident in with this. Because, many of you don't know this probably, but he is behind some of the best rated R comic book adaptations that we have going today. He's one of the creative minds behind The Boys, Gen V, Invincible. Yeah, those are the big ones. He just did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, which I haven't seen personally, but everybody says is like the best Ninja Turtles movie ever. He did Green Hornet back in the early 2000s. Like, this is a comic book guy. And so I fully trust him with this. I'm like, yeah, Seth Rogen doing an R-rated animated Venom movie, that sounds awesome. The only thing my mixed feelings comes into this is just doing an animated Venom movie. Now, on the one hand, I think it would be really cool, first of all, just to do an R-rated Venom movie, because that's really what the live-action Venom movies should have been. They should have been rated R, especially when you had Carnage the villain. Like, that's got to be rated R. So I think that now that they're actually doing that, I think is great. I do think it's kind of funny, a little ironic that, the live action Venom movies are PG-13, so like kids can watch those, but the animated movies, no, these are going to be just for adults. I think that's kind of funny, but if that's what they want to do, go for it. If this is how we can get our rated R Venom, go for it, man. But at the same time, I've always felt that I've never really loved Venom as a solo character. I just never have. I don't hate the live action Venom films, but I definitely don't love them. I just don't love Venom as a anti-hero. I grew up seeing him as a Spider-Man villain, so I would prefer something more along the lines of that. But this could be cool. I just don't know, like, what would they do for a story? Like, would it just be another Venom versus Carnage? Or Venom versus another symbiote? Personally, I think best case scenario, this should be Venom versus Null. Like, unless they plan to do this as like a full trilogy or something, they could build up to it. But that's something they can't do in live action. Like, do Null. Do the whole origin of the symbiotes and the Clintar and like all that stuff and the planet they came from. That I think could be really well done in animation, especially if you have an animation style similar to the Spider-Verse films. This could even be set in the same universe as the Spider-Verse films, or one of the universes within the Spider-Verse multiverse thing. You could do a crossover somewhere down the line. That would be really cool. There's this great artwork that I found on Twitter, done by Chris, I can't even pronounce it, but it's Chris something. And this looks great. This is pretty much what I would want from an animated Spider-Verse style Venom film, and I think there is potential here, and I think this could be really cool. So I think that's one option. They could do Null and they could do all that really cool stuff. Again, I think that's something, it would be really expensive and it would be really hard to do that in a live action film. So doing it in animation I think would be perfect, and especially with this hyper stylized visuals of the Spider-Verse films, that could look beautiful. Just seeing the symbiotes in this animation style I think would be so cool. But another option that's possible, especially considering that, the live action Venom films don't have Spider-Man in them. But these animated films, obviously, you're doing that with the Spider-Verse movies. Maybe we could do some Spider-Man versus Venom here. I think that would be interesting. Although I feel like maybe they might be doing that in the MCU with Tom Holland, so they might not want to rehash that again. But it would be interesting to see like a Spider-Man versus Venom from Venom's perspective, where Venom is the main character here. I think that could be cool. Another thing that kind of gets me interested about this and kind of excited about the prospect of this idea is like, who would you cast for the voice of Eddie Brock? Or if you did a Venom versus Spider-Man in this animated film, who would you cast as Spider-Man? Would it be like bring in Jake Johnson and have it be that Peter B. Parker? Or would it be one of the live action Spider-Man? Or would it be something completely new? That's something that I think is so intriguing, so cool, is that like you could cast completely new actors in these roles. Like there's been a lot of good fan casts out there for other Eddie Brocks. Alan Ritchson is a big one that I've seen. I would love to see that so much, more specifically in live action. But I mean, I could see him just doing the voice for it if that's what it has to be for this. That could be darn cool. That could be really cool. Now again, this is not confirmed, but it is being reported by Can We Get Some Toast, a pretty reliable source. I don't think they'd put out this information if it weren't true, if there weren't some piece of validity to it. But this, again, at first I wasn't super crazy about the idea, but now as I'm discussing it and talking about all these different routes they could take this story, I'm pretty excited about this. I think this sounds awesome. Again, if Sony can put more focus on these animated films, honestly, if they could make their live action films as good as their animated films, that would be great too. But currently that's not the case. So put the focus on these animated films, make more of them. There's also rumors of a like Spider-Gwen solo film, or Ghost Spider, Spider-Woman, whatever they're calling her, in development. So there's that as well. I think that's really cool. I'm so excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Again, it's been delayed. We don't know when it's coming out. But this idea of an R-rated animated Venom movie produced and written by Seth Rogen, sign me up, people. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these rumors of a Venom animated movie? Are you excited for it? What type of storyline would you want to see? What characters would you want to see pop up? And who would you cast as the voice of Eddie Brock and also Venom as well? So, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I keep up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.